What happens next year? I'm joined now by Congressman Jeff Duncan. He's a Republican from South Carolina, member of the Committee on Homeland Security. The president, let's say he vetoes it. What's the next step for those who are in favor of this?
Well, hopefully the Senate will take the House bill up. If the president vetoes it, we'll have to deal with a presidential override. But we had a strong bipartisan vote today, and hopefully we can have some real reforms. I think this is step one. Step two will be addressing the funding in the omnibus. Step three will be a broader, comprehensive approach to addressing the refugee resettlement program as a whole.
Sir, you just said bipartisan support. Have you spoken to more than a tiny handful of Democrats who are for this? Give us a sense of the temperature gauge there on the other side of the aisle.
Well, I haven't talked to many Democrats, but Tulsi Gabbard is one that voted for it. She's been strong about the U.S. Attacking ISIS, and there are some leaders on the Democrat side that support this, pause that we're putting in place.
Sure.
Let's pause this settlement program. These are Iraqis and Syrians. I think we really ought to be broader than that. Look at the 6 countries that were identified in the 9/11 report.
Okay, so you talk about reports, you talk about concerns, but we know this. We know that there are propaganda videos that are now out showing even Times Square. That's 2 blocks from where I'm sitting right now.
Wow.
Make it 1 block, actually. How concerned is Congress about that situation? Is there any effort on that front when it comes to looking at these refugees? A handful, or who even knows, who were able to get into France under the guise of saying, oh, I'm a refugee, and in essence, they were just trying to do murderous harm.
Yes, I mean, ISIS had said they were going to attack the Europe countries of France and Germany, but they also said they would come to the United States. So they want to come here. Let's take them at their word. If I was ISIS, I would try to exploit the soft underbelly of this nation. That's our porous southern border. So we need to be cognizant about border security, about immigration issues, and we need to really address this refugee program, because they had said also, Liz, that they want to exploit the refugee resettlement program as well as the European migration.
Of course they do. Of course they do. They're smart. We have to give them that. There's a new poll, sir, today says 53% of Americans don't want to take Syrian refugees, and 28% think we should only take the 10,000 that were already promised. The president last night likened the Syrian refugees to tourists, meaning not harmful. Here's what he said, and then I'll have you react.
The idea that somehow they pose a more significant threat than all the tourists who pour into the United States every single day it just doesn't jive with reality. That's not what our law enforcement thinks.
Congressman, a huge number of Americans are not xenophobic. They want to be open-hearted because many of their ancestors came in through this. But does it seem that the president is not really speaking to that at all, that fear? Is he not to speak to the citizens first and then protect the refugees who want to come in here?
You're exactly right. Our compassion really should be cutting 2 ways. We should be compassionate about the Syrian refugees that are fleeing a war-torn area in Syria, but we also need to be compassionate about our friends and neighbors that need to be protected here at home, and that is take national security seriously. These aren't just tourists. ISIS is an evil threat. These are radical Islamic jihadists who want to do harm to America. They want to erode our freedoms, and they have said they want to come to America to do great harm. So we need to take them seriously. I don't think the president is taking this threat as serious as he should.
Do you think this bill will pass in the Senate?
I just hope they can take it up or take a version of it up and we get to conference and get something to the president's desk, because this is an 80-20 issue in my district. This is something that they expect us to do. So I hope we will get something to the president.
Congressman Jeff Duncan, we appreciate you joining us. Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.